Hello, everyone. My name is Everest Jesus, Power BI Group Leader. And today, the Global Power BI community has the pleasure to have Leila, who's going to be presenting for us in this occasion after being like all over the place, like doing presentation in the US, and I think also like it was in Sydney. So we thank Leila for taking the time. So I just want to give like some highlights about our community. Our community is trying to have one monthly session from one expert from the industry. As of now, I think we are being like really busy, like having presentations every month. We count with 25 plus count of leaders from the Power BI community, and also like we reached like 3.5K Facebook members. These ones are the places that you guys can find our community. We have a LinkedIn page. Also, we are in YouTube, and we have 600 plus registered member in our community. The upcoming session that we have time intelligence in Power BI, which is going to be presented by Marco Russo, and this is going to be on Thursday, November the 16th, and it's going to be 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Today, we're going to be talking about endless possibilities in Power BI with R, and our presenter for today is going to be Leila. So Leila is a data scientist with a PhD, Microsoft MVP, and BR consultant, and she has over 10 years experience working with databases. Leila is an actual speaker of an international SQL Server and BI conference, such as Microsoft Ignite, PAS Australia, and New Zealand, and all machine learning and analytical topics. Today she's going to be talking about endless possibilities in Power BI with R, and I hope like all you guys like the presentation that we're going to have today. I want to thank you guys, and I want to hand it over to Leila.
I'm going to talk about the endless possibilities that we have with R and Power BI. The first possibility that we have is that to create R visual inside Power BI using R codes. And the second one is about writing the R code inside Power Query. So that actually help us to uh, do the machine learning inside Power Query inside the M language. The third option is about using creating custom visual in Power BI, creating the pbiviz file, and the last one is about using the current and available visual that we have in Office Store. So I'm just going through them briefly. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the what is the R. R is a statistical language that is a free and open source, and it has been developed by Ross Hicko and Robert Gentleman at University of Auckland, New Zealand. R has about till now it has more than 10,000 packages that has been used and created by many people. Everyone can create their own package and share it with others. And also it's open source and everyone able to use it. So why we should use R? So as you see in this picture, R has been integrated with Microsoft products. So in 2000, I can say in 2014, Microsoft introduced Azure Machine Learning as a cloud-based data science product, and people start to use it. They able to is a really easy place to work. It's a drag and drop environment, and also you're able to write your R or Python code there. In 2015, Microsoft introduced Power BI, that you're able to write R code inside visualization of the Power BI. And also in 2016, they announced that you're able to write R code inside Power BI 2016 inside the M and inside the Power Query. And finally, in 2016, they announced that you're able to actually write R inside SQL Server 2016 and also Python in 2017. So in 2017, they call it as a ML services in SQL Server. That means that you are able to write R or Python inside SQL Server. And also we have different options. So for example, you can write R and Python code inside the Azure Data Lake. This is another option that we have. So you see that Microsoft start to integrate machine learning in different their products. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm just going to talk about how we can do machine learning inside Power BI. So this is the actually data structure that Microsoft has. So as you see here, these are the data science virtual machine. You see that Microsoft able to support R, C#, and Python languages. Also is connected, this virtual machine able to connect to different data platform, SQL Server, Data Lake, and the other. Moreover, as you see here, is able to connect to the other AI platform. For example, we have HDO, and also we have the other tools that help us to do machine learning, and they are already exist, and many data scientists use them. And this stage, you're also able to connect them and get insight from them. And also data visualization and data ingestion and the all development tools. So you see that this is a really complete package that after you create a data science virtual machine, you're able to connect to all of them. Okay, so let's go back. So you see that R can be not a statistical language. Also, R can be used for graphic and visualization. We can have dynamic visualization. We can have specific visualization that currently we don't have in Power BI. So I'm going to start with create your own R visual inside Power BI. So many of you may see these charts before. This is actually charts created by Abela in 2009 that shows that what we need visualization, or what is the main aim of the visualization. We do visualization for doing four main purpose. Comparison, we are going to compare data over time or among items. So that's here. We are going to see the relationship between the data. It can be between 3 variable, 2 variable, and the other. Or we are going to look at the composition of the data. So how it's changed, and also using pie chart, waterfall chart, and the other. And also distribution of our data that shows that how frequently we have among them. However, I can say most of these charts have been covered in Power BI. So you can actually create of different these charts using the standard visual that we have in Power BI, or go to the Microsoft store and import them. However, as you see here, there are a couple of charts that still we don't have them there. So yeah, we have the custom histogram, but for example, we don't have the normal distribution. Or for example, we don't have variable with column chart and table with embedded chart there. Okay, I'm going to show you that how we can create, for example, a table with charts inside Power BI. Okay, so just let's start. I'm going to bring my Power BI here. Okay, so there's a Power BI data. I have a data set here. Let me zoom it. Oops, it's not really good. So here I have a data set about the cars that you see here. So I have a data like the model of the car, the year of the production of the car, number of cylinders that they has, the speed in the city, and also speed in actually highway. So CTY stand for speed in city, and HWY stand for speed in highway. I'm going to create a visualization. So here under the visualization pane, you see that we have a R script visual. I'm click on that. When I'm click, you see that a new R scripts editor have been shown here. So I'm going to set that. I'm going to show speed in city, speed in highway, number of the cylinder in the actually in my visualization. When I choose this columns, these actually fields, you see that I get a message that duplicate rows were removed from data. So here, and also you see a couple of R codes here. So the first one is about, you see the name of the fields that I'm choosing, so city, highway, and CYL. And also you see that there is a function that data.frame and having stored it in a variable data set. Now I'm going actually to write my code. So just let me bring the code here. Okay, so this is my code. So this is a very simple R code that actually is here. So you see that the first thing is I'm using a package named ggplot2. So ggplot2 in RStudio is responsible for drawing very interesting charts. One important thing is that in Power BI, whenever you are going to use any packages like ggplot2 or the other, first you should go and come to your RStudio and just simply write install.package ggplot2, and first install it, and after you install it is available and you can use it here, and you refer to it by function library. So this package has couple of functions. One of the function that it has is ggplot. So you see that's a function that is ggplot. This function get the data set. So this is a data set. That's the data that I have. And it has a function inside it named aesthetic. So inside the ggplot, we have a function asset maker. Asset maker is responsible for creating an environment for us. So it says that in x-axis, I have city speed. In y-axis, I have highway speed, and I have another column for size of the cylinder. So first let me run. So here you see that we have 4 different button. The first one is for run a script. So I run the script and I get a error. So let me see that what's the error that I have. Okay. Yep. Okay. There should be some problem here. Data set, yep, that's correct. Okay, ggplot, data set, asset metric, x data set, city, CTY, HWY, and CYL. It seems okay. Let me check it again. Okay, so there is an error here, and I couldn't understand what's the problem. There is a bottom here that help you to edit the scripts in external ID. So I'm click on that, and it's bring all of my data set here. So you see that now I have my data set. So this is a data set that I have here, and so I just run again. So this is the data set. Now I have the code here. So I found that there is a problem in the code here. So I able to actually run it and see that what's the problem. So this is the, oh yeah, I understand that I made a mistake here. So I just put it here. I just changed the data set before the session starts. So yeah, and I can see the visual here. So I'm just able to debug the code here, copy the code, and then back to here and paste the code here. So so you see here that now I have an environment here. So it's create the environment for me. So as you see in the y-axis, I have the I have the city speed and highway speed, and in x-axis I have city speed. Now I'm going to add another layer to here. So there's another function named geom jitter. So this chart is actually create a scatter chart for me. So I'm just adding another layer. So you see that I put plus sign and the name of the chart that I want to paste here. So I'm just run it, and you see that now I have a scatter chart here. So in the x-axis, I have the city, in y-axis, highway, and here the bubble size shows the number of the cylinder that I have here. So I'm not happy about the, for example, the size or the shape, because I don't want to be a field cycle, a bubble. I'm going to change it, for example, to another form. So there is a function inside the geom jitter named PCH. So PCH is actually equal to 21. So you can change it to different parameter. You can change it to 90, 21, and the other, and you get different actually shape over there. So yep, you see that is actually, I can create different shape. So I want to show other variable there. So beside the city and highway, I'm going to show the number of the drive and also the year. So I'm just add them here, and let me actually add some code to that. So I need another library named reshape that helped me to create a different thing. So I'm going to add another layer by here. I'm just set plus and put the data here. Okay, so let's see that what's happened. So yeah, that's actually, this is a data that I have. So I just make it to the 90 or 90 to make it nicer, and I run it. Okay, so what I have here I have the actually have a table now. So the rows stands for the year and the column stands for type of a driver. So for example, first column shows the speed and city and highway with number of the cylinder in 1999 and 2008 for the four-wheel driver. The column 2 just related to the front wheel driver, you see F, and the last column stands for rear driver. And also the first row is stand for 1999 and the second row stands for 2008. Okay, so I want to make it a bit nicer. So I'm going to actually change the data a bit and try to make it as a bit nicer. So I'm going to change instead of the size. So here, if you look at the code here, I have size for this number of cylinder. I put it as a color. So I've said that I want to have different color instead of the size. So now is actually, you see that for the number of the cylinder, I have the color here. So the darker means that they have fewer number of cylinder and the lighter they have more. So you see that how much possibility we have here. The good things about the visualization here is that we able to also interact with the any visual in Power BI. So for example, I'm create a slicer here and I said that I want to see information for the model A4. So you see that is already select that one for me, or I can change it to the other. So you see that how is possibility we have. We can create thousands of visualizations. So for example, I'm going to show you a polar chart that we have. So this is a polar chart that we have. I'm going to create first a bar chart for that. Okay. So yep, that's a bar chart. I hope that I didn't make any problem here. Oh, yeah, library ggplot2. Yep, that's correct. Okay, so let's see, that was an error here. Okay, so you can create a different charts there. I don't know what's the problem with the code now, but I can show you that how you can actually create a different charts there. I will provide the codes for the presentation and you can see them. So for example, here you see that how I'm create that one. So you're also able to create a different charts like a slope chart. So for example, this is a slope chart that shows the how's the change of the data from time 1 to time 2. You can create a calendar chart, different polar chart, and also column width chart. So these are the possibility that we have, and you see that, for example, instead of the scatter chart, you can have bar chart and the other. Okay, so these are the actually, so yeah, I'm about want to show this one. So you see that I have a bar chart. I can create this bar chart to the polar chart in y-axis and x-axis. Okay, so let's start with the second possibility that we have in Power BI. That is about the writing the R code inside Power BI. I'm going to talk about machine learning. This is a machine learning process that has been introduced by Microsoft recently in the Ignite in Orlando. So the first step is about the business understanding. So what is our problem and how we are going to solve the problem. What problem we are going to solve? Is it descriptive analysis? Are we going just to look at the data and see what's pattern there? Or we are going to do the prediction, forecasting, or other things? And also the second step is about data acquisition and understanding the data that comes from ETL process. It comes from data wrangling, cleaning the data. And the last one is deploying, creating the model, and is a cycle that actually we go through that. So I'm going to talk about one of the approach that you heard about machine learning, that is a deep learning. I'm going to show you how we can do neural network inside Power Query. So as you see here in the upper cycle, we have AI, that's a main base. Inside the AI, one of the approaches is machine learning, and inside that we have deep learning, or one of the example of the deep learning can be neural network. So let me first provide the introduction, what's the neural network and how it's work actually. So neural network has been proposed based on the main concepts of the brain, human brain. It consists of millions of neurons. So each neuron has a place to get a data signaling and also do some process and pass it to the other neuron. So that's the main concepts behind of the all AI machines. So that you see that's actually main concepts of them. So each human has about 85 billion neurons. A cat has 1 billion neurons and a mouse has 75 billion neurons. So that's why you see that in many laboratory they use mouse to actually, because they has more neurons instead of the other. So that's why that maybe mouse is much more smarter than cats and always actually won the game. Here, so we come and simulate the structure of the neurons. So first, we for our computer, we provide the input, we do some processing, and we output. So this is so similar to the neuron structure. And you see that again, we have an input, we have an output, we do some process here. So now let me explain that how it's processed. Neural network is so similar that you climb a mountain, you are in top and you want to coming down, but this is so foggy, so that means that you just able to see 1 meter ahead of your foot, so you couldn't see more. So what you do, you just come here, look at the front and see that which step you should go. So for example, this is a bold one, this is a step that you should take. So you go a step further and now look at the in front of you. So and choose the best way and again come and take a step till you come down. So this is a very kind of example that how neural network do. So it's actually do a process and do a process, pass it to the other nodes and do another process till it's come up with a really good answer. So that's why that in neural network we have a couple of nodes, we have couple of output, and we have a lots of inside node that they do the processing and they try to enhance and to reach the output. So for example, if we have some of the inputs like student study hours, how many times they going out, how much time they are absent from class, and how many times they put for workout, now we are going to predict that how is possible to get better mark in sport, in math, and how they are good in social network. So these actually neural network can help us to answer this question through the nodes that we call it as hidden nodes. Okay, so there we have different structure. We have single layer, multiple layer, fully connected, forward and backward. I'm not going to talk about them now. I just want to show you through the example that how is work. Okay, so I'm just past this one. Imagine that I have a data set like this. I have a data like this that it has orange and black. I'm going to divide them. I want to classify these data. So as you see here, I use this line to group orange one from the black one. So I use this formula to divide. But as you see here, the orange one is not fully in its parts that it should be. So I tried another line to separate them. So still this line has some problem. But if I join these two lines together, okay, I have a better actually classification. So you see that now it's totally orange one has been separated from black one. So this is the same process that a neural network doing. So combination of the different formula together to reach a better result. Okay, so this is the main concept. So I'm going to show you a model that how I'm use neural network inside Power BI to predict the concrete structure. So you know that concrete has been used in building, in dam, in bridge, and we use it a lot. So let's do a process to see how it's possible. I'm back to the Power BI here. Okay, I'm going to the edit query. I have a data set about concrete. So just let me actually duplicate that one. So we have another data set. So you see that I have the ingredient that we use to create a concrete. So I have cement, slag, ash, water, plastic, and the other. And also I have a, just let me read that one. I have a value for the strength of concrete. I'm going to predict this one using the neural network. So how is possible? I'm going to use R inside Power Query and M. At the top, beside home, you see that we have a transform. Under the transform, we have a component for run the R script. So I'll just run it here. Okay, so I'm going to do some data transformation before applying any machine learning. So the data transformation that I'm going to do is called normalization. So let me first cancel it and explain. So here you see that for example, for ash, data starts from 0 and the maximum is 200. For the slag, data is from 0 and 300. They are in the same scale. But for example, for this one, data starts from 500 and the maximum is 900 something. Data is not in a same scale, so they should be in the same scale to so I get a better result. I use R data transformation to do that. So this is the formula, this is a function that helps me to bring data in the same scale. So I want to bring the data in the scale of the 0 to 1. I use this function, and also I use the function lapply to apply the function onto my data set. So for now, I'm just actually do that. And actually, when I run it, you see that now most of the data is actually between 0 and 1. So I bring my data in a scale of 0 and 1, and data is really ready to do the machine learning. So the second step of machine learning is about the splitting the data, some parts for training and some parts for testing. So here, this is my data that already normalized. I'm saying that from row 1 to row 700, I'm going to put the data for training. And from row 700 to 1000, I'm going to put data for testing. So this is the data that I have. I'm going, so 70% I put for training and the 30% for testing. Okay, so this is the data that I have. Now I'm going actually to do the machine learning process. For doing this process, I have a package named neural net. So first of all, I should back to the RStudio and again install neural net inside RStudio. Then here in my code, you see that library neural net, I'm able to access it. So that's a function, neural net is going to predict that how is the strength of the concrete regarding the other variable that we have. And I'm going to create a model based on that. And after that I create the model, I'm going to actually put the result of the model and use it for the testing. And finally, I'm going to show the data outside. So I'm just put C so you can see that how it works. I'm not going to deep that how's the process. So this is the process that I have. And as you see here, now I just running the code, you will see the output as a separate table, as a separate query here. So you see that I have concrete, norm, test, train, and output. I want to double click here and show you so you can see that, for example, I have an output here. So in my code, you see that I have an output data here, or I have a, for example, concrete, train, and test. So you see that all of the variables that I'm declare here and I use it in the RStudio and they are in a data frame format, I can see all of them in the output. So this is my output. I'm just right click and says that add as new query. Okay, look at here. So here I have my original data that I have, and now I have a real data for strength and the prediction. So there are some difference. So for example, for the first row, the real data was the strength was 30, my prediction was 32, or for example 44, but my prediction was 46. So this process help you to have machine learning inside your Power BI format and just use it and then show it using the other things. The other possibility that we have here, so I'm said that maybe close and apply. There is another possibility that you shows the charts, that shows the neural network charts inside there. So I'm going to show you. So here I'm using the one, so all of these things. I just want to show you that how it's possible. So this is the real data that I have. I put the same code that I run there. Just I want to add another column name plot the model. So when I run it, if it's come with no error, hopefully. Okay, so you see that this is my neural network structure. So it has some input, it provides the output, and it has just one hidden model. I'm going to actually create another one, so I'm just put it here. Oh, before I'm actually do that, if you look at here, this is the error that I have. So the error was 1.8. I'm going to remove and enhance the error by adding another parameter named number of the hidden node. If you remember in the charts that I showed to you, if I back to the let me back here, I'm telling that as much as node we have, that means that we have better process. It not means that we should have millions of the hidden nodes, but there is also a formula. But having more hidden nodes, that means that we can do more processing. So I just add 5 here, and I'm going to run the code for this chart, so you're able to see the difference of the error that has been enhanced. So yeah, here I have 5 hidden nodes, and you see the error from 1.8 has been reduced to 0.42. So you're also able to show your neural network structure here and see the model and see that how is good and how is actually help you to have a better structure. Okay, so till now actually I talk about the creating R visual inside Power BI visualization, inside mQuery. You see that. Now I'm going to the very new things that we have in Power BI that I can say this has been announced in 2017. Is about creating the custom visual. How we can create custom visual in using the R. Let me show you some of the examples that I have. Then I'm going through the process. Okay, so I'm just here. Let me, it's loading, so it's take a bit time to loading. So you see here in my visualization pan, there are lots of visualization here that they don't have a picture. You see that they are in a setting icon they have. These are the visualization that I created myself. And you know that if you just go here, you're able to import from the file. So for example, you download a specific visualization, import it here, or you're able to connect to the store of Microsoft if you sign in and import some of the visualization. This is a visualization that you show before. This visualization actually I'm created myself. So if I'm just click on that, so you can see, so this is a visualization that I'm created myself, and is exactly the scatter chart that we have. So you see that there is no R code here, and I use a specific package named Plotly that provide me able to zoom in or zoom out here. So let's see that how we can create that one. So I'm back here. I'm go to my C, so full now. Okay, so let me, okay, so I'm just delete that one. Okay, I'm create a new folder here. I call it as a PBI Word, and I just select it because I need that folder. Okay, so this is the folder. Then I'm back to the command prompt. I have to install a couple of things. So I said that cd, and then this is the folder that I want to be. So this is a folder that I have. First of all, you have to go to the website of Node.js. So I'm just going here. And first of all, you should download the latest version that you have. So I'm trying it for Windows one. So I download this one. And then after that, you just back to the command prompt, go to the folder that you want to download custom visual, and just simply write this one. np install Power BI Visual. So it takes a bit time to actually install the codes there. So I'm just installing. I'm just have to wait till it install there. So it's actually going to create a Power BI Visual Tools in your machine and provide you a sample there. And actually from that sample, you can create your own visual. I'm just waiting till it's finished. I can show you some of the examples that I have there. So just let me go to the some of the examples. So you see that I'm actually have a lots of examples created here. I can show you a couple of them. So for example, this is a facet chart. The other one that I'm created was polar scatter chart. That is actually, we don't have it in Power BI. I haven't seen a custom visual. So you see that is a custom visual that you're able to show a variable from 0 to 1 and with a scale of the between 0 to 180 or 200 or something. So this is a different chart that I have. You can have different type of the chart. Even the column width chart that I'm talking earlier, you're also able to create that one. Okay, so after you install here, so you should get the things that actually is already installed. To be sure, just write pbiviz here to make sure that is installed. You should get the message like this, and after that, now we're able to actually to download the first folder that help us to create a custom visual by writing the sentence pbiviz new. This is the name of the visual. I want to actually to download this, so it's actually creating the new visual for me, and I'm going to the folder there. So let me show the folder first to you. So if I back to the C, there was a folder PBI Word. You see that now there is a folder inside there, and it has a script.r there. That's I will show through that. But before now, just let me create a actually file there. So to do that, I'm going to do I'm using the formula CD. This one I'm going to do there and create the package there. So I'm write pbiviz package. So it start to creating a package for me. So if I'm back to the after it finished, so yeah, I'm going back here. Inside there now there is a folder named dist or dist that you can see the pbiviz has been created there. This is a sample that we have in created by Microsoft. We can change it. See that how we can change it. So here we have a file with a scripts.r. So if I just open it with let me see that how could I open it. Open with RStudio. So you see that inside it there is a R scripts there. So here you can you see that ggplot is here, plotly is another package, and is the ggplot code. You see that's how we can create a ggplot. And you just need to install a couple of things like plotly and HTML widget to make it work. So here is a place that you can write your own R code there. So after you save it, you can back here and go to the package.json if I'm not wrong. Oh, not this one, sorry. Go to the pbiviz.json and open it with the WordPad. And here you see the name of the visualization. You're able to change it, the display name, and also in GUID also you can change it. And then again back here and just run the previews, the pbiviz package in the folder, and you will have it. So this is a really simple one, and you just can back to your Power BI visual, and here you're able just import from file. I said that yeah, I want to import. I want to go to the C drive, go into the PBI Word, go to the folder that created here, and just simply bring it here. So now is actually is a sample chart. It's not a really good chart. It's something that for the test we have it like a hello world. So you see that now we have this chart. This chart is statistic, okay? But I can show you that under the folder that I have. So if I back to the folder that I was inside the R visual, I have couple of them that I'm created myself. So if I just open it with RStudio, so you will see that is the things you remember that I'm just already created a scatter chart. So I have X, Y, and Z value. I using the geom jitter to create a chart. So this is a simple chart that I'm created myself, and here this is actually the one that I'm created. Is a simple scatter chart that I have, and I'm easily imported here, and I use it. So this is really good for sometimes that you do not want to share your visual with the other people, because in the previous example that I have, if I want to show you here, If I'm click on the charts here, people are able to go through the code and change the code. So that's a possibility that they actually change the code and you couldn't see the correct visual. But here, when you come here and you create a visual that nobody can see the code, so it's kind of the safety, and also for the sharing, it's provide better facility for you. Okay, so this is the actually how we can do the process. I include all of the process here, so after that you can access those. The last part, the last possibility that we have is there are some there are some kind of visual for machine learning inside Power BI that you can go to the Power BI store, bring them and use them. Some of them use exactly the same process that I show you here. So they created like this and Microsoft actually share it with you. So let's see that what they are and how they can be important. So first, to access them, you should click on these three dots, go to the import from store, and from there is a, actually let's wait till come, there is a icon for advanced analytics, so this one, and you see that there are a couple of different charts. So for example, we have composition chart. I will explain about that. I already have it, so yes, update it. And or for example, there is another one. If I back to the store, there is a correlation chart. That's also really interesting, so you can easily add it and come here. So let's see that how they work. I'm first go for the composite chart. Imagine that I have a time series data about the, I think so, milk and production. So I have a date and I have value. I know that my data has a kind of the time series behavior. So this is my original data set. So this is my data set. I know you see that the shape of the data shows some seasonality and also shows the trend. This chart helped me to distinguish different behavior of these charts. So the first behavior is seasonality, or a same pattern that has been repeated. So it shows me in a separate chart in the second row here. The second element is about the trend of the data. So it shows me that the trend of the data is like this. Also, you can see in the original charts here. So the second chart just showing me the trend of the data. And the last one just show me the residual, or the data that is error or noise. Also at the bottom you see that it's provides me some information. So it says that the model that I have is a monthly base. There is 39% seasonality in the data. I have 54% of the trend, and just 77% is error, which is really good actually. So because it's the data that I want to show you, so maybe it's really clean. It's not happening in all of the data, but actually it helps you to distinguish between the how is the pattern and the other. And also you see here, this is a data that I have. It starts from 1905 to 1975. So this is another chart that we have. Also, we have a chart like for forecasting. That's time series one that actually use the exponential smoothing approach to do the forecasting. So I just bring it here. You see the red line is for forecasting. So this is, we have about 3 different charts for forecasting inside the Power BI. One is that one, the decomposite chart that shows the different component. Another one is exponential smoothing, this one, and we have a ARIMA. Another important chart that we have, and I find really useful, is a correlation chart. I have a data set about insurance of people. Let me minimize the other so you can see easily that one. So it's actually, we are going to see that how's the relationship between insurance charges and the BMI of people. So this chart is actually shows me this relationship. If I want to show the other information, let me, okay, yeah, I want to see the label. I want to see the correlation coefficients of them. And also I want to see the parameter. Okay, so here you see that it shows the darker and the bigger bubble shows me the high relationship, definitely between charge and itself is a high relationship, that is 1, and you can see 1 is here, that is the darker, but the relationship between charges and BMI is 20%, 20% is here, is not that much, and this scale actually show you, so the blue one is means that they increase together, and red one, this means that they decrease regarding each other, they go to the different direction, and as much as the value close to 1, this means that there are higher correlation, and is close to 0, this means that there are lower correlation between them. This chart also make able you to see the difference. So for example, I want to see the relationship between age, BMI, and charges. So you see charge has 20% relationship with BMI, that's not that much high, but has much higher relationship with age. And BMI and age also, they have a 1% relationship correlation to each other. That means that if someone BMI going up, there is not that much correlated with their age. People can be has a higher BMI in any different age. So these are the charts that you do not need to write any R code for them. They are available and you can easily use them. Okay, and you can, so you see that couple of options that we have. So create R charts, writing R inside Power Query. You can create your own custom visual, creating pbiviz, and also create, use the current visual that we have in Microsoft Store. So I have actually a book, is not is actually back to 3 or 4 months ago, is I should update it, but it's available and it's free, you can use it. There is a good book that I'm actually use a lots of example of that, that's a machine learning with R. It's really easy to understand. I love the book and I really use this as my main reference for my course. And this is my Twitter, the email. So if you have any question, just let me know. I know actually that actually we go very fast to, I just try to provide the idea that what possibility we have here. Definitely for each of them we should go more deeper and check more options. Okay, so I'm just done now. I'm just free for any question. So I have a question. When you publish to the web, do the charts stay interactive? Yes, it stay interactive, definitely, but you need the premium account for that. Another question, would our visual refresh in PBI web services? Yes, I think so. I think so. Not sure exactly about that, but I think so. Let me check that one. Let me check, and I will put there in the I back to you soon. Does gateway supports our visual refresh option? Both actually, premium, not pro. Yes, yes, yes. I think so in both of them. Yeah. Pro, yes. Yes, in premium, not in pro, yeah. And also, does the gateway supports art visual refresh option? To be honest, I didn't try that one in the Power BI Premium. Not sure about in the with connection with the gateway. There is no case that I use it, but I can. That's a really good question, actually. I'm going to check that one and provide. So thank you for posting these questions because it's helped me to go through them and find it. And what else? Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. And oh, there's another question typing. Okay, thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Leila, and it was an amazing session, and we hope like to have you back like in another occasion.
Thank you. Thanks you for opportunity, Eric. Thank you.
Thank you, and bye-bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Global Power BI community. Thank you.